Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be a guinea pig diet video, and I've had loads of requests to do this and I thought I'd finally get around to doing it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is water, and guinea pigs should have access to fresh water at all times, and I would really recommend not using those vitamin C tablet things in their water because it gives the water a funny taste and it puts them off drinking it. And also those tablets only sort of work for about half an hour until the tablet kind of disperses and it doesn't give them any nutrition after that. So I'd really recommend not using it because it doesn't really give them any nutrition and it's just going to put them off drinking water. And to be honest, in my opinion, guinea pigs should get all the vitamin C that they need from fresh vegetables, which they should have every day. But I'll go into detail a bit more about that in a minute. So the next thing I'm going to look at is hay, and hay is the most important part of a guinea pig's diet. It should make up about 80% of their diet. So you're going to want to feed some good quality Timothy hay, meadow hay, orchard grass, something like that, that's really good quality, but also that your guinea pigs like. And my guinea pigs are really picky, so I could spend a lot of money getting them the best hay I could find, but they might not like it. So it's equally important that your guinea pigs like it because they're going to need to eat a lot to keep them healthy. So you want to find some hay that's not too dusty, because too much dust can really affect their respiratory systems. You're also going to want to make sure that it's not damp, because the mould on the hay will release spores which your guinea pigs can then inhale, which can again really affect their respiratory systems. And you'll know if it's damp because it will have a funny musty smell. So the hay should smell fresh, it should be quite green, it should have some soft bits and also some stalky bits, because that's what's going to grind down your guinea pig's back teeth, and they should have access to that 24/7. So like I said before, hay is really important because it keeps their back teeth down. Nothing else will do this properly, so the pellets and their chew toys will only help keep down their front teeth, and their teeth are open rooted, which means they're constantly growing, and the only thing that's going to keep their back teeth down will be constantly grazing on hay. And if they're not grinding them down, then they can get overgrown, which can cause some really serious health problems. It can stop them eating and it will eventually be a really expensive trip to the vets. So they need to constantly be grazing on hay. I'm going to keep going back to this because it's so essential for a guinea pig's diet. And their digestive systems need to constantly have things going through it, because otherwise it can shut down. And this is called gastrointestinal stasis, which is really bad for them and can lead to death. So it is so important that they're constantly munching and they keep things going through their system. So guinea pigs can also have fresh grass, but you need to avoid lawnmower clippings, because when the lawnmower cuts it, the fumes kind of go on the grass and that can be really bad for your guinea pigs. And I've got a video on taking a small animal outside where I go into detail a bit more about pesticides and insecticides and fertilisers and those sorts of things which you really want to avoid when feeding your guinea pigs things from outside. So you can always check that out for more information. I also feed ready grass occasionally as a treat, but in my opinion nothing should replace hay, because hay is such an important part of their diet, but they can have other things as well as a treat. So now I'm going to talk a bit about pellets, and adult guinea pigs should have 1/8 cup of Timothy hay based pellets per guinea pig a day. And it's really important that adult guinea pigs have Timothy hay based pellets rather than alfalfa based pellets, because they contain too much calcium for adult guinea pigs, and adult pigs don't need any more calcium, and if they do, it can kind of build up in their bladder and cause bladder stones, which are usually taken out by surgery, which doesn't always work, so it's really important that they have quite a low calcium diet. They only need 1/8 of a cup, and if you're feeding them a lot more, then they're likely to eat less hay, and also they can get fat, which can cause other health problems. It can put a strain on their heart if they're having to pump blood around a bigger body, and also they can actually get diabetes, the same as people. So if you think about people, the health problems that comes with being overweight with people, it's the same sort of thing with guinea pigs. And they should have the boring sort of pellets rather than the muesli, because guinea pigs are selective eaters, so they're only going to pick out some bits, they're not going to get all of they need. And also guinea pigs don't need nuts and seeds in their diet, and the coloured bits tend to be quite sugary, which, as I said earlier, can be quite bad for them. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is vegetables. So there's a really good website, a safe vegetable list, that I will leave in the description bar. I think it's Happy Cavi, and you can kind of see the vegetables with the vitamin C content and the calcium, so you can really see what vegetables are really good to feed your guinea pigs. I do have a video on that also that I'll leave a link to if you want to check that out. So when feeding vegetables, you're going to want to feed low calcium vegetables, because like I said earlier, calcium can build up in their bladder and can cause bladder stones. So for example, cabbage is quite high in calcium, so you want to really avoid feeding that, or only feed it very occasionally in small amounts. You also want to look for low sugar vegetables. For example, carrots are quite high in sugar, which again can make them fat, and it's quite bad for their teeth. So you need to keep an eye on that. Carrots are really good as a treat for your guinea pig, but they shouldn't be fed like on a daily basis. You also need to be careful feeding them too much vegetables, because it can cause gas, which can lead to bloat. They also need vegetables which are high in vitamin C, because guinea pigs' bodies can't make their own vitamin C. So things like bell peppers are really high in vitamin C, which is great. And adult guinea pigs should be having about a cup of vegetables per pig per day, but you might want to keep an eye on this and monitor their poo, because if their poo is really runny or they have diarrhea or anything like that, then maybe give them less vegetables, but make sure that the vegetables you do give them are really high in vitamin C, like peppers. But it'd be really good if you could check out the Happy Cavi website, because they have a really good list that kind of tells you the nutritional information of the vegetables. Now I'm going to talk a bit about treats. So I would recommend for treats maybe dried herbs or forages, or fresh herbs or something like that is more of a natural alternative. The Woodlands range and the the Naturals range have really good dried kind of forages and dandelion things and stuff like that. That's a really good alternative to shop bought treats. I wouldn't really recommend feeding shop bought treats, because they're not really very good for them. They are going to like it, but guinea pigs will eat pretty much anything you give to them, and maybe a piece of fruit occasionally is a much healthier option. But to be honest, when it comes to treating your guinea pigs, vegetables are going to be the best, healthiest treat, and I think they're going to enjoy them the most. So that's pretty much it for the guinea pig diet, and I hope you've learnt a little bit about guinea pigs, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye! Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. Hop along to our Facebook page so you can keep up to date as we post competitions where you can win loads of prizes for your pets. See you soon!